I'll try sharing my experience. As Maritza said, I'm a predoctoral researcher in Universitat Pompeu Fabra, I'm based in Barcelona. I'm doing a PhD in place branding. And I had the opportunity, together with Dr. Luis Codina and Dr. Carlos Lopezosa, to test the beta version of Scopus AI at the end of 2023. So while we were testing the tool, we gathered some information, and I will try and show my insights today and explain how I think this tool can assist us researchers in different moments of our daily work life. So considering that we might have diversity of people in the audience, I'll try just doing a little bit of an introduction to academic databases and research, just to make sure everyone's on the same page. So the basis of scientific advancement is to make an original contribution to a field of research, right? So academic databases play a key role in this process because they host a vast amount of peer-reviewed literature, which in turn serves as the foundation for new studies. However, these tools can be challenging to navigate because their interfaces might not always be very intuitive, also because they use a specific language, and because they host the amount of research they host can be sometimes overwhelming. This means that researchers require a certain degree of information literacy to make sure they can access the documents that are actually relevant for them. So in these environments, we are used to using keywords and concepts and their synonyms to search for information based on search equations. So it's not a very natural language, we would say. Okay, just to provide a few examples, and pretending that we are early career researchers and I'm interested in place branding, for instance. The first time I access a database, an academic database, in this case Scopus, the first thing I would do would probably just type in place branding and in the search box, and the tool would retrieve almost 1,300 documents. That's a fair amount of literature. There's a lot of information there. But after scrolling down and looking at all these records, the researcher might notice that some of the documents refer to place branding with a few alterations, maybe place brand or place brands in plural. So we would do this little modification just to make sure we are accessing the whole pool of documents. Now, this time we have almost 200 documents more. But after investing a fair amount of time, the researcher realizes that there are several synonyms that other researchers use to refer to place branding, such as city branding, nation branding, county branding, destination branding. Right. How I can't miss this information, right? Because some of the research I might be interested in might be using these other synonyms. Okay, what happens if I put them in the search box? Okay, it increases even more the pool of documents I am getting back from the tool. Right. So after a really considerable amount of time, I'm talking hours, maybe days for an early career researcher, the researcher is confident enough to use a search equation and some of the filters that we can find in this database, such as the date range or the document type, the fields where we can use the keywords. The researcher is ready to undertake the research, the search, and within a pool of documents that he or she can handle. Okay. Right. So how does GenAI assist researchers in this process? Right. We've been talking about information overload, early career researchers or researchers looking into different disciplines. This is exactly what Scopus AI does. Doug has already introduced the topic. I will show you shortly with a little demonstration, live demonstration. But I would like to just have a look at this slide so we can all understand more or less some of the main differences we can find between the traditional search system Scopus provides and the new version based on generative artificial intelligence. So, like I said, in the traditional environment or interface, we use search equations, whereas with generative AI, we are using prompts. That's basically means that we can use natural language, so just the way that we talk and we refer to other people. The results that we obtain are no longer a list of results, not only the titles or the abstracts of these documents, but an operational synthesis that we can read, a text, a structured text. This is far more human-friendly than what we were receiving in the traditional system. And it also allows us to interact, to engage a little bit more with the tool, as I'll show you in a bit. Right, so just to finish with this introduction, this would be what Scopus looks like in the traditional system. We get a list of results related to the keywords we use for our search. This is how Scopus AI looks like, a structured text, just like if we were reading the actual research. And this is Scopus AI Copilot, a better version with some improvements that I will also be talking about in a few minutes.